these demonstrations, Noxolo, are against anti-worker laws.
Yes, they are. So what is happening in Greece is that the government has proposed to pass a bill that seeks to undermine the current existing workers' rights. The bill seeks to ban trade unions and to ban workers' strikes in the country. Furthermore to that, they are adding 2 more hours to the normal working day, making it 10 hours and a 60-hour week. Also, they want to ban Sunday as a day off, so it's going to be a normal working day. But in doing this, they're not increasing the salaries of the workers, so workers are going to be overpaid and underworked. They are going to be underworked and overworked and underpaid.
Yes. Now, obviously, this has been an issue that has been brewing for quite a while out in Greece, and Greece has become quite notorious as far as anti-labor policies. Now, and all of this is as a result of a government that is seen as very extremely conservative, Nicolo.
Yes, it is, because the government is very conservative. In doing so, they are putting the workers in a worse off position than they currently are. So instead of addressing the genuine issues of the workers, they continue to worsen the working conditions.
Mm. Now, one good thing, is to see South Africa and to see a union like Nehawu standing in solidarity with people in other parts around the world, and in this particular instance, in Greece in itself. And this obviously is a very, very positive move. On the part of South Africa, on the part of Nehawu, that we show solidarity with the plight of people, of workers, of employees in other parts around the world.
Yes, it's important that we do so, because what happens to workers, whether it's happening in South Africa, in a green country, or in Europe, a worker is a worker at the end of the day. And what happens in Europe influences what eventually happens in Africa. So if we do not react to these things before they get to Africa, we are going to find ourselves in a similar position and not knowing what to do. So pledging solidarity is also a way of us to see what is happening to the rest of the world and how to respond should it happen to us. Because right now we are also facing a problem of the government wanting to remain the wage agreement which was signed. This has happened in the past in other countries, but now it is happening to us. So we must continuously just pledge solidarity.
Yes, and also I think one of the key issues here is, I know we've been in the middle of a pandemic, but what the pandemic has also done is it has had serious consequences on workers as well. And one of the major concerns that has been in Greece and also in some other parts around the world is to turn these areas where workers are employed into cheap economic work zones. And I think this is a massive fear. This is a huge fear going forward, even if we come out or when we come out of this pandemic, Noxolo.
Yes, unfortunately, for most countries, including South Africa and across the world, mostly South Africa as well, workers are now finding themselves working extra hours without compensation as a result of COVID. But we can't let that go on. We understand that the situation is dire, but workers cannot be exploited, because if we allow it right now, it means that we are going to allow it in the future again. So the issues must be addressed. And one of the key issues for Greece right now is that they want their health care system to be strengthened, because with COVID, it has weakened because they have a national health insurance system.
Right. Now, and now let's talk about the second protest. And now this has been an ongoing issue for a for years and years and years. And we're talking about the Western Sahara, about the Sahrawi people and how they are being treated by the Moroccan government.
Yes, the Moroccan government is oppressing the people of Western Sahara, stemming from the issue of them having been colonized by the Spanish. But it's been 29 years since the United Nations referendum for Western Sahara was agreed on, but there has been no implementation of it. There was a settlement plan that was drawn at the time. However, nothing has been done on that. And the United Nations Security Council on its own is lacking on addressing the issue. And so in the meantime, Morocco continues to perpetuate massive violations of human rights in Western Sahara. They are killing people. They are arresting people with no cause. There's torture. There's illegal detention and killings. And also forced disappearances, which are all human rights violations. And we can't stand and watch and say nothing, because we know that when South Africa was under the apartheid regime, we had support from the rest of the world. So now Western Sahara remains the only colonized state in Africa, and we need to address this.
Well, certainly, and I think the funny part is when one looks at talk about colonizing, when the colonized becomes a colonizer, like we've seen in the case of Morocco. Yeah, it certainly speaks volumes, Noxolo.
Yes, it does. Because initially it was the Spanish that colonized, and then it turned around that Morocco now colonizes Western Sahara. And one of the reasons that they are doing so is that there's a lot of natural raw materials and resources in Western Sahara that they want to exploit without the people of Western Sahara benefiting from it.
Right now, just finally, Noxolo, just as far as both these demonstrations are concerned at both the embassies, just if you could give us some further details, and also at the same time, what is the message that you're going to be sending across?
With the Embassy of Greece, it's taking place in the address is 323 North Lane Village Road in Hillside, Linwood. We are starting the demonstrations at 11, and then we'll hand over the memorandum to a representative of the embassy. They agreed to receive the memorandum. And what we are saying there is that the government, what we are demanding from the government of Greece is that they need to stop exploiting workers' rights. They need to, they should not implement the 10-hour working day without pay. And Sundays must remain a day off as usual, because workers need to rest. And also they must not undermine the right to collective bargaining and workers' rights.
Yes, and at the Embassy of Morocco?
The Embassy of Morocco, we are going to start at 12. Unfortunately, they said they don't know what's happening. They claim they don't know what's happening. They don't know why we're striking. But we are ticketing there at 12. They won't receive the memorandum, but the address is 799 Francis Bard in Arcadia. So what we are saying there is that the Moroccan government needs to uphold the UN resolution and must respect the human rights of the Sahrawi people in the occupied territories. And we would demand that they must release all the political prisoners, including the people that are missing and they are not accounting for, and they must end. We would demand an end to any policy that is driven by the logic of the Moroccan occupation, which threatens the preservation of natural resources of Western Sahara. And most importantly, they need to respect and uphold the human rights of the people of Western Sahara.
Well, Noxolo, thank you very much for that and for your time with us this morning here on Salam Media. We wish you all the best, and please take care.
Thank you so much.
Noxolo Bhengu joining us this morning in the Nehawu protests against the governments of Greece and Morocco.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal's Breakfast Club aim to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend the day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner by visiting our website on www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Dad, well, I've been chatting with an investment broker today and...
Broker? Did the broker tell you that our economy is a mess? There's bushfires in Australia, America wanted World War III, and now the coronavirus is traveling around the world.
Well, I also thought about purchasing some crypto.
Crypto? What's that, like another pyramid scheme? I don't trust what I can't see.
There's an apartment in Belito.
So all your family will be asking to stay there for free. And what if the government takes it away, eh?
Dad, I don't think it works like that.
I'll tell you what works. Gold. At your age, I invested in gold coins and it paid for your university fees and your wedding. No contracts, no agreements. Your investment is in your hands and you own it.
With a 70% growth in only